Hello, everyone, and welcome out to The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, episode 365. And along with me around the table, we'll go this time left to right. We have...
I'm Marianne.
I'm Keith.
I'm Casey.
And I'm me. No, and you know what? And you guys are going to take a break for a second, because it's been a long day. But then you'll be back, because we were totally not recording this after the fact. But before we get on the show, we have some announcements as per the usual. First up, we have a lot of friends and pals of the show. One of the friends we have is at Mad Lab. Be original and check out the main shows we have coming up, such as Sketchy Pitches, March 8th through the 10th, 16th through 17th, 23rd and the 24th. Tickets be found
Yeah.
at madlab.net/tickets.html. Be original, unlike my verbiage there. For links to check out our other friends of the show, like Pack Rat Comics, go over to our website and go over to the show notes over at gbgpodcast.com. Our official sponsor of the show is Audible, over 200,000 titles to choose from, like Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, written by and narrated by Neil deGrasse Tyson, or maybe this other book, Leonardo da Vinci, an autobiography written by Walter Isaacson and narrated by Doc Ock himself, the amazingly talented Alfred Molina.
Or you could download Weird Wheat by J. Keith Jackson.
Well, it's written by Suzanne
It's written
Dome.
by Suzanne Dome. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
Suzanne Dome and narrated by me.
Is it also on Audible?
It is
Yeah.
on Audible.
Oh, check that shit out.
I've got 5 books on Audible.
Dude, that's I didn't know they were actually going on
So
Audible.
if you like Keith's
awesome.
voice in this podcast,
If you like the smooth, sultry sounds of his voice, please go. There you go.
download.
Now, can you just type in Keith Jackson?
You
and
type in J. Keith Jackson.
J. Keith Jackson.
Yep.
Look at you being all official with that extra letter in there.
It's the Dawson's Creek method. Everybody on those shows had like 3 names.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
And if you get your free audiobook, hopefully maybe one by J. Keith Jackson, go to audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky and just type in the search, because you get a free audiobook with your trial.
Yep.
That's right. And then once you get a subscription, technically you're paying for an audiobook every month. That's free. And if you want more, then you can pay for more. And here's the thing. You can keep all the... So say budget's tight, you can quit at any time, but you keep all the books that you download. So... go get J. Keith Jackson, right? J. Keith Jackson. I don't call him J. Keith Jackson, so it's throwing me off for a second.
So
I'm remembering it.
Never knew about that.
I did, yeah. Well, yeah. But now I'm just like, I want to fuck it up. J. Keith Jackson. I can't say Pimer Labs. Fuck it. I already fucked it up.
J.
It is
dot
Okay.
Keith.
If you listen to that,
Jackson.
weird thing, because Nick has word problems. So before we started the show, I was like, are you good at the names, Casey? Because I forget all the names. And Casey's like, I got you on this. I remember
And he
most of the
did.
names. And he
tried.
did.
I tried.
He did. And then, but in general, I fuck up pronouncing everything. So that's why we have the drinking game on the show. So you've already probably taken a lot of drinks. Oh, yeah.
I've never been on the podcast before.
Oh, sorry. That's right. We have a drinking game because I fuck up saying things so much. And so it's just one whole episode where we just go over the rules. And so if you want to, you can get really drunk at home.
Oh.
Drunk, whatever. Words are hard.
There's another one. Take a drink.
Yeah, there you go. Take a drink.
I don't drink, so.
Well, now you will.
Orange juice. There you go. Just take some
Hot
orange juice.
sauce.
Hot sauce.
That's the equivalent.
Oh, Jesus. That's almost...
Thank
So you gotta suffer.
But long story short, our last
That's what I
show,
always
there
do
is
in a
a
drinking
bit in
game.
It's All Been Done Radio Hour where it's called Pimer Labs, right?
Yes.
See, I said it right there. And I put in the script, leave a blank there, and I put Hank Pym. So if I say Hank Pym,
Yeah.
I get it. And it's supposed to be Pimer Laboratories. And so if you listen to the recording, I go, line, and there's a space there in my brain. I go, Hank, and I still said Pimer Labs, but it says Tim, and so then Kristen tries to cover me, and I think she messes it up too, and my response was, you fucked it up, and Kristen had to save you, and so I go, God damn it, in character, and then the rest of my brain goes, God damn it, you corrected me, and I'm Tim, and I'm never wrong, but I didn't say any of that. I just said, God damn it. And it's just so weird. Yeah, it's just like, God damn it. So it's the weirdest fucking thing. Well, speaking of that, we're part of the It's All Been Done network, so It's All Been Done Radar. But do you like thrills, chills, and things of horror? Marianne and her friends have you covered in Marianne's Macabre movie review. They cover current horror movies in theaters. See, it all comes around. Along with reviewing older horror films, comparing remade international ones, and new ones too, like Death Note, which I was in, which is a really great episode. What makes a good horror film? Well, do people think it's scary? What is cheap and overused? Subscribe to Marianne's Macabre movie review on iTunes and other podcasting services to find out. It's all been done anyway, so head over to iabdpresents.com and please support all our programming at patreon.com/IABD. Do you guys have another website, though? You don't? It's just there? Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
So if there's another way they can go access it, I'm all there. All right. And then another thing is you guys are frequent guests at Amanda's Picture Show A Go-Go, where I think, Keith, you're on the Black Panther for this one too, right?
Indeed.
And so if you like to hear those viewpoints and other because I've been on there once or twice as well, please check out amandaagogo.com or look it up wherever podcasts are sold.
Wonderful. It's beautiful.
So today we're talking about Black Panther.
All right.
Right. 5 minutes into the intro. No, this is one of the shorter ones, to be fair. Remember one time I think we went 12 minutes. It's just us bullshitting. And I think I think it was you or Eric who's like, "Don't we gotta get the show started?" I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck."
Sounds about right.
Keith, there will be spoilers in this episode.
About what?
All kinds of things. You know what? Just assume that if you've not seen anything within the last week, whether it be This Is Us, or which we don't really talk about that really.
Yeah.
But I would say
Last
Jedi,
Yeah.
Black Panther, obviously, and Gran Torino. Apparently,
of all things.
Yeah. Now, if that got cut out, well, then you know what? Just be ready for it because it could still happen.
Hit that skip. Just hover your finger over that.
The Infinity Wars trailer.
Move forward 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah, good one.
The Infinity Wars trailer.
True.
Yes, the Infinity War trailer.
Apparently, there's a superhero in it.
Oh, no.
Believe it or not.
Surprisingly, it's not just the big purple dude with the gauntlet. But after that, we kind of spoiled that for you,
Barney?
Casey. But Barney. It's Barney.
It's Barney?
Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't wait. No.
I love you. You love me. I'm going to wipe out the world with infinity.
Humanity. You're going to wipe out humanity.
It's a humanity. Well, isn't the world...
Humanity.
Is he humanity? Hey there, dumb doodle dummy.
Gonna kill you.
Gonna kill you. Where's Mistress Death?
I can't wait. It better be that.
You know what? We should get the trailer after the movie comes out, of course, and re-sync it up with just Barney dialogue.
So good. It's like, great.
Or actually, we could take dialogue from Guardians of the Galaxy and do Barney as Thanos. Yeah. You're a small child. You act like one too. I do not worry the concerns of a boy. Apparently, it became Pete Puma there at the end. I'm sorry for that.
Fine. I guess I'll have to do it myself.
Oh, Jesus. As
Yes.
terrifying as that if there's any point in the new movie where Thanos creates more of himself, there we go. We just have all of us going
Like layered over each other.
like an army
So
of
good.
Thanoses.
Oh my God.
That'd be Barney Thanos. That's
more terrifying than
actually
anything else.
Do one of those really bad trailers too, where you splice it together, where it's Thanos living a day-to-day job. It's like Mr. Thanos,
Oh my
Barney
God.
Thanos, and he's like, "Yeah, this is me."
I guess you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
All right, so we're going to talk about Black Panther, maybe some other stuff too. So stay tuned right after this all. All right, so our special guests are not here yet, but they'll get here. They'll get here.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that makes me, de facto, I'm not a special guest.
No, you are
said our special guest.
You are a special guest, but
Different kind of special.
we're covering for them.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's
that is
covering
true.
for them. So our only maybe a skosh more specialer guest. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
I can take that.
Actually, you're all special to me.
I'm sure we are.
I appreciate you guys doing. Hey, this is the first podcast back, and then it might be the last for a bit until
The first one since when? When?
Christmas. Last Jedi.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That was not. You recorded that not too long after Thor Ragnarok when I was over here in November.
Well, it was a month because Ragnarok came out like I think the 18th of November. Actually, it was a full month later because I think Star Wars came out on the 17th.
Yeah, it was
But,
Ragnarok was before Thanksgiving. Before
Yeah, so
Turkey
we
Day.
recorded it. So I always try to. I try to. It doesn't always work. I try to record the episode a week after, or like a few days after it came out in
Recently,
theaters.
yeah.
And then I try to get up there for the listeners who are maybe on the fence, and
Right.
and hopefully this will persuade you.
Right.
It won't, and you'll hear in a second.
Yep.
But here's the thing, though. You've already heard them in the intro. They're just taking a breather for a second. So
That's cool.
they'll be back. They'll be back.
That's right, audience. Yes, they are coming.
That's right. So
Okay.
since we've already introduced them, we don't need to tell you who it is.
That's right.
That's right. This is totally not recorded first. So, but obviously we're going to talk about Black Panther.
Yes, we are.
And are you better with the character names than I am outside of T'Challa and
I
Killmonger?
feel fairly comfortable.
Then
with
you will be my
the
go-to
character
guy.
names.
If I look to you and I start fucking a name up,
Yeah.
obviously those at home playing the game will drink, but then you can go, no, Nick, it's
Okay.
Okay,
Everybody at home, I still want you to get your crunk on, as Little John would say, and
That's
finish
right.
that drink. But
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
correct him. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
He's not in the movie, by the way.
No.
He could be.
He's not.
He should have been.
He's not. No, but so Black Panther it's a continuation of the character that was introduced in Marvel's or Captain America Civil War.
Although I think saying Marvel Civil War is actually more appropriate.
It is
because
actually.
I consider that basically an Avengers movie.
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
We have, and I know that. Listen, I'm just cutting in because I know
No,
that
it's
the
okay.
wonderful Kat McElpeen, who I think is a fantastic actress and human being. I am calling her out, even though she's not here, so it kind of makes me seem like a coward. But I'll say this to her face, Kat. Your opinion about Captain America Civil War is that it's a bad Captain America movie, but that story functions as an Avengers story first and foremost.
And Captain America is most known to be an Avenger.
Exactly. And
Now-
it ties up a Captain America story while balancing, a larger story, but I know that she probably doesn't see it that way, but that's my point. I'm sorry.
No, it's
our
okay.
debate about that movie will never end.
No. It's matter of fact, we were at Wooz's wedding reception, not reception. It was the brunch after
The brunch afterwards, and we
we
just
were
started going
arguing.
off.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
the thing is, you and I were at one table,
Yep.
and then Kat was on the table behind us,
So
and
she
so
turned
we were all
around.
turning around, like kind of.
She had some really wonderful remarks about her view on Thor and Captain America, how they're both characters that are displaced from their time period. So it's not like I have a beef with her as a person. It's just dude, I can't agree with you about that movie. They did such a great, because one of the feats of that movie, because of Captain America Civil War, although as I like to call it, Marvel Civil War, is one of the feats of that movie did three things. It tied up the Captain America Bucky storyline that was so well set up in Winter Soldier.
It did.
Okay. It introduced the Sokovia Accords and the concept of the Superhero Registration Act.
Yep.
Introduced that really well and made that a presence in the Marvel Universe. And it also introduced two new characters into the MCU. I mean, we all know Spidey, but we haven't seen him in this context before.
No.
And it introduced for the very first time, live action, long overdue, Prince T'Challa of Wakanda, now king by default because his father was assassinated. And so we now see, big bummer, but now we see the consequences of all that.
Right,
in his own movie.
which now, I will say too, and maybe it's because he's got his dad's killer.
Right.
But I also kind of feel like even then, like he was kind of on fucking edge during Civil War.
Oh my gosh, he was
And then you
so angry.
And then
the
you
whole
watch this
movie.
one, it's
so
just
intense.
like he's cool now.
I mean, I feel like that.
That's a little thing that threw me off.
Was that a thing that threw you off? Because I felt like by the end of Captain America Civil War, Marvel Civil War, Marvel.
Saving my ass.
No, I'm doing it. Yeah. So at the end of Civil War, let's just say that, he has that little moment where he spares Baron Zemo, Remember where he has that?
That's true, yeah.
And what does he say?
does
He
kinda
says this awesome quote where he's like, Zemo's going to kill himself because Zemo's family was taken in Ultron, and so Zemo's about to blow his own head off because he feels like his mission's failed, and this is the only reason I was doing it anyways. And Panther stops him. Remember, he puts his claw, his vibranium claw, in front of the gun barrel, and he's like, you can't die because the living are not done with you yet, or something badass like that.
Yeah.
So I felt that in that moment that Black Panther had kind of evolved out of that
Fair
hateful, rageful
Okay.
mindset. I think that was I think you saw some development with him in that movie, and so
Okay.
that calm that he exhibited in that one scene to me transitioned into the character
fair
I
enough.
saw in this movie.
Well, let me be clear. I greatly enjoyed this movie.
Oh, I know. I was just
I love
saying,
that.
and
No,
you can.
no, and I agree.
I
That-
think
it's
that
one
your
of-
observation is legitimate, but I want to say I think that's where that choice what the character
Fair
comes
enough.
from.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm also very glad that he was a little bit more chill though, because it fits better in the context of the story they presented.
It does, and I think that's more the character from the comics too. He's not always so pissed, and it made sense that he would be in Civil War, and I liked the intensity he brought.
Right.
You know, I mean, they killed his father. You know,
and maybe
I'd go off.
And again, this is the only thing with Marvel movies in general that kind of irk me is that sometimes what's said in between the scenes, aka in between the movies, sometimes would be also equally as powerful if they show something or and this is why in some cases, like for example, okay, this is the thing, and I'm sure they'll probably talk about it in Avengers. Where the fuck's Captain America? I thought he's chilling in Wakanda. So, is he like in a hut with Bucky somewhere? And if so, he's just not there when all this is going down?
There was a really good, like, week-long sale at, like, Jimmy John's, and he's just all about those fast subs.
He is. He wants those freaky fast.
Dude, you look at that dude, you know he eats.
And he can't drink.
Yeah, and he can't drink. This is out of super metabolism, man. I know what the troubles of having a fast metabolism. He's just got to eat.
So, Incredible Hulk, sadness. I can't have sex. Captain America sadness.
I
can't get drunk.
So how's he got to fill that gap? Food. That's what he was doing.
Yeah,
he's just hitting up a Denny's and a Ponderosa.
Well, he goes to Denny's first.
Yeah.
He ends the evening at Denny's. No, here's what he does. He starts the morning at Denny's.
Yes.
He then goes to Bonanza or Ponderosa.
Right.
Bonanza, yeah.
That's all American. And speaking of all Americans,
that's
real heroes.
That's right.
Here they are.
That's right, Keith and Marianne. You heard them in the intro, which we've not recorded at all.
Totally not.
Yeah.
This is perfect because we were buying time. We were going into a bit of nonsense about Captain America at a Denny's, which they didn't show that not happening. So there's no proof it didn't happen. Thus, I feel like it could have.
Did you guys get the comic books that they were giving out?
No.
What?
Did you go see that?
I went in at Studio 35.
Studio 35?
Look at this.
One for each.
Hey, oh my gosh, I've seen this before. Yeah, this was...
got one too, Keith, because I grabbed enough for everybody.
Yay.
I have peeked through this at the comic store before. Black Panther appeared, I believe, like 1963 or 1964.
Yeah, which was, it's
and it wasn't even the 100th issue of Fantastic Four.
No.
I believe it's like 40-something.
Jack Kirby.
Man.
And Stan Lee.
Pretty early on.
So we'll just start. Did we enjoy Black Panther? And I'll start with you, Case, and we'll go around the table.
Absolutely, I did.
All right, Keith.
Yes.
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
We got a consensus.
We got a consensus. So, all right. So let's start off with what we didn't like. Then we'll get the bad out of the way because there's not a lot here, but I'm interested to see what you guys.
I agree.
Go for it.
Okay,
man.
so what's our policy on spoilers? Remind me.
Oh,
here.
I don't care.
Okay.
Well,
but what? Okay, audience.
Might
I'm gonna.
Oh, look, if you're listening to an episode of the Black Panther, you should know.
All right.
Where we're.
But I'm just saying, just in case, my remark is directly tied to some that you have to have seen the movie to
Captain
appreciate.
America dies.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
I was surprised when the Justice League showed up.
That
know,
was
right?
insane.
That was a
But
huge
they
part.
need this crossover appeal because their own movie sucked.
That's.
But yes, I'm sorry. Ooh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh,
I've not
I don't
seen
hold
it, so
back. I am a troll when it
can't.
comes to the Marvel DC rivalry.
Well,
I'm
this
sorry.
podcast is now turning into a Justice League podcast.
Uh-oh.
I've not seen it yet.
I'm sorry.
So
I don't mean to stir the pot.
I'm
But
hoping
well,
to-
actually, I do. I shake the hornet's nest on that. You've all seen my Facebook. I'm sorry.
We'll wait until after we stop
Okay,
recording.
we can
and
talk.
I
Oh, you can beat me up.
No,
Take me
I
There won't be
wouldn't
time.
beat you up.
Smash a chair over my head. There's a folding chair behind me. She'll get all WWE on me. Oh, it goes off the top rope with the chair. All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So
There
the
are
bad.
chairs here for that.
There are, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
In case we have extra people. So, like, Chase was debating on coming, but he had band practice tonight. So, anyway, sorry.
The bad for me was the worst thing the movie did was that it introduced. So Marvel gets criticized for not having quality villains all the time, which I never even necessarily agreed with even before this movie. However, I see where they're coming from. There have been some stinker villains. They introduced two of the best I've seen in comic book movies overall, not just Marvel, but mainly, the main villain, Killmonger, is fantastic. And then they make the choice to kill him off in the story, both of them. And they were both villains that I really enjoyed. And with Loki, we see how many times, even though he's done heinous things, they bring him back and they keep him as a recurring character and use him again because he's just so interesting to watch. You love to hate him. And I felt that there was potential with Killmonger that he could maybe do a turn kind of like Loki did because he made some really good points and had such strong motivations. And I think they need to, mine the good villains they have and keep them around for maybe just one more movie. As it is, his death was strong, and they were both powerful and served the story, but then I think they could have gone another way,
I
too.
think he had the best line of the entire movie.
Was it the last line?
The one about the slaves.
Yes.
Bury me in the ocean. That made me cry.
My ancestors knew that death was better than bondage. I mean, come on, man.
Damn.
Well, the thing about that is, I don't think it would have. The way that they built him in that, I don't really see a good way to let him live. Honestly, I mean, I think it would have weakened him if they allowed him to turn in some way. I mean, I think the uncompromising nature of what he was doing was what was.
His death made sense.
His name.
His death made sense, and I guess I'm just being greedy because I liked his character so much. I just wanted to see more.
Well, Claw, on the other hand, there's no reason why they need to kill Claw.
Yeah, I totally agree with. And Claw is like one of Black Panther's main rivals, nemesis in the comics. He just keeps coming back like a Joker, Batman type dynamic.
Right,
and they just were like, "You're done."
Yeah, that was because here's the intro for both of them in the movie. Claw's the one you'd be fucking worried about because he's just like, hey, you, yeah, come here. You know what? I'm gonna let you live. Go run, and then he shoots.
Oh, so good.
That was good.
And granted, he's not wrong. He's like, we want to seem like amateurs. Crime scene spread out.
He was having fun with it, which is you should always do with your job. If you're a real professional.
if you're a real horrible bad guy.
Yeah, he does this a lot. You got to spice it up at some point. Make it fun for yourself.
And also, I feel like Killmonger Eric was really excited that he killed the lady in the museum, though.
Oh yeah,
he's just like, you should be careful what you put into your body. And then
drop.
And then it's just like. Well, technically, though, but he didn't kill her. I just now remembering. Yeah, because when she looks up, then it's a Claw, and then he shoots her in the head. So,
well, she was on her way out.
Well, that's true.
He just sped up the process. I think Claw was great because Killmonger, he is so intense as a villain, and the only funny barbs that he ever had were kind of a sarcastic, toxic, acidic delivery, whereas Claw was just having fun. He was like, "That was awesome!" After the casino, he was just jazzed about being a bad guy. And I like that.
Also,
having so much fun.
Pretty awesome to hold a metal hammer made of vibranium in your dick to go places.
God.
He did do that.
Do that. Yeah, because remember he went to
the exchange.
He pulled it out of his pants.
Okay.
Yeah, because Martin Freeman was looking. He's like, okay, what are you? In classic Martin Freeman delivery, he's like, okay, what are you doing? You're unzipping your pants, and then he pulls out the vibranium thing, and I forget. He's just like, well, I can't put it in a normal tuck, so I just put it down there.
No, I saw it twice. So he says I didn't want to spend money on a suitcase.
Yeah.
That's the wrapping paper.
It said fragile. Yeah. I like that touch. The shit could take, a nuclear strike and be in one piece.
So you hated the loss of the villains.
I won't want to say hated because I understand.
Well, not hated,
but like he said, they did serve a great purpose.
But it's
and
a small gripe.
But it's just like, I mean, they're so good. Maybe that's the way that Black Panther really sticks it to this guy because he didn't want to be incarcerated. It's like, you're gonna live. I'm not gonna have your death on my hands, and I get to lock you up.
All right.
Boom. But hey, that didn't happen.
All right, Keith. What about you, man?
That was pretty much it. Claw, I would say.
The Claw.
I wanted to learn more about him. I'd say that, the extent of my Black Panther knowledge, or at least the biggest chunk of that, was the miniseries they did, both in comics and the.
That's the motion capture, not the motion capture. There was the
motion comic of BET.
It's on Netflix, right? Still.
I don't think it is.
I think it's on YouTube. I mean, that's where I originally saw it.
No.
Fair enough.
We have it on disc.
We have it on disc.
And you can get it on disc.
Yeah, but it's very high quality for a motion comic, I would say. But apart from that, that's Claw, the main villain in that. They put together a nice little team of villains to go after the Wakandans. It was it was a fun series.
Doesn't it start off in a flashback too of his ancestors?
Yes, I think one of the first scenes is.
Oh well, yeah, they have
T'Chaka.
They have the various military forces over the years trying to invade Wakanda. And being repelled.
I got you.
Captain America was one of them, right?
And Cap comes in because he thinks a Nazi's hiding there or something.
Yeah.
And then
he's just like
underestimates T'Chaka and has a bad day.
Yep.
Very bad day.
That was fun. But yeah, that was a great series of just putting over Wakanda. And my favorite thing about the concept behind it is how they're not afraid to let people underestimate them. It's just we're just this tribal country, just don't look here. Nothing's going on here.
We're a third-rate poor country.
Yeah,
we can do nothing supposedly.
Yeah, got all this stuff hidden in their primitive-looking weapons.
Right.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, it's not even worth invading. We don't have anything.
Yeah.
There was a very satisfying scene in that where they actually had, white invaders who were treating their servants like slaves, essentially, on the way other Africans outside of that country, making them carry all their stuff in, and getting there and just having to haul their own stuff the rest of the way, and just getting humbled thoroughly.
That's awesome. Isn't it also by John Romita Jr.?
So the comics that series is based off of were drawn by him. Junior drew those, and then they made the animation try to mimic his style. Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah, it looks really good.
So my point in bringing that up is I would have liked to have seen something
from
more like that, certainly, but
as a part of the history.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
What about you, Marianne?
So I have the same basic one that everyone else has about the villains, because I really liked Killmonger. Killmonger. Yes, I keep calling him Kilgrave all day today.
So you've mentioned a couple of times.
Yes.
About liking Killmonger.
Yeah. Yes.
Off screen. Well,
actually, she did post something that she wants. He likes, and granted, his hairstyle was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And she wants Keith to.
Yeah, and if you could do the scarification too, that would be great.
Oh yeah, sure. No problem.
Can you start on that bumps? Now? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He had it on his back. Somebody helped him with that at some point.
Yeah.
You can do it with a mirror.
But
a couple mirrors.
The other thing that I know, I'm probably odd person out with this one, was the second fight scene when they the first one with the gorilla tribe, and then they had the second one with actual Killmonger. And when the second one started, I was like, we're not going to have to sit through another big long fight scene again, are we? And
okay,
yeah. So
which one? You're talking about the showdown
when Killmonger challenges for the right of the throne.
For the throne,
right?
Oh, I got you.
And f's him up big time.
Yes, because I was like, I want more story. I want to see more of everybody else. But it did have a good resolution. I did like that the one tribe had actually found him and didn't kill him, and then the part that I liked was when tossed him over the side, and I'm horrible with names. The female that likes T'Challa.
Oh,
Nakia.
Yeah.
Nakia goes, shit, let's go right now, and she immediately she understands what's happening, and then the guard says, I'm not leaving with you.
Yeah.
You get out, but
I call her Michonne because that's
that's the same here.
Yeah. Which it was nice to see her in that movie. She was really good.
You know
amazing. What? I'm a dummy because I didn't recognize that was her.
Either.
Actually, it was funny. The moment she walks into the casino in, was it Korea?
Yeah,
with the hair.
With the hair. The audience I was in went like, oh, it's Michonne. and it was just like, realization. It was really funny.
No, it didn't click even then for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I had to look at IMDb afterwards. Same with Macabre. I spent the whole time going,
who's Macabre? Which one?
He was in
Get Out.
Oh, Get Out.
I always call him Get Out at this point.
I thought he was the guy from Leverage, I think.
Hardison?
Yeah.
No.
I know.
There's somebody else we saw that looked like him in something else more recently.
That's what it was.
So I had a friend when we were watching. He's next to me, and in the scene where Wakabi confronts T'Challa after he says, hey, Claw got away. He's like, I thought your father didn't do anything for 30 years. I thought it'd be different with you. He gives him this disparaging remark. My friend leans over and whispers, "He better get out with that nonsense." Good.
Was that Scott? Did you see
Scott?
No, I didn't. Okay, because that feels like it's a very Scott.
He would appreciate that.
Oh,
he would say that.
That is a great
line.
I
was jealous of him. I didn't think of it myself.
Yeah. Okay, so I had the same. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That was another frustrating thing. Was I've been king for a fucking day, or however, a week, and I didn't.
Not that long.
And I didn't resolve your main issue in a week. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was a little annoyed with that.
One excursion.
Yeah, one thing.
The other thing I was going to say, something else you reminded me of.
Go ahead.
I was I had mixed feelings about how likable they made Man-Ape. Essentially the...
M'Baku.
Yes, M'Baku.
If you didn't know. I know who he meant, just in case
why
you
do
didn't
you
know.
not like... Why was that... Because he's the bad guy and...
Well, yeah, I mean, other thing, I kind of wanted to see something more vicious for a bit, but I mean, it was nice. It was a fun character.
Yeah, it's
my
true.
favorite line. He had my favorite line of...
Feeding to the children.
I'm going to feed you to the
God.
children. Just kidding. We're vegetarian.
That dude was so funny. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh, he starts
Where's the
barking
kid?
to
Yeah,
cut
they
that
start
dude
barking,
off.
yeah.
Cut Ross off. That was
And
so
here's
funny.
the thing, too, is that you don't know, and this is how well the tribes don't know each other. Angela Bassett keeps her eyes down, like, he might not be fucking around. Like, we don't know. And, because you're using that, because I was like, this ain't real. And then, like, you look at, the queen and the daughter, and you're like, oh, they might not be fucking around here.
No, I felt that tension. I actually was buying it, too, for a bit. I mean, because really, as I said, I've only seen little bits of him in different cartoons and so forth, and he's usually... not a very good guy.
No, and they definitely, that is a change. I'd say as accurate as this was to the comics, like, I remember in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, Man-Ape was a bastard. Like, he's a lot different in the comics, too. Like, he has, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has, like, legit super strength. Like, he's...
Well, he's also literally a man-ape.
He's a
got
very large guy.
strange proportions. Like, they just made him a big man in this movie, but, I mean, in the comics, it's ridiculous.
More like
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
Yeah, this dude's, ridiculously powerful.
And the thing in the comics, too, is it's also a little bit racist, I feel.
Well,
because he's literally a
yes.
man-ape.
They certainly didn't call him that in the movie, did
No,
they?
they weren't using
Glad
that
they
term.
didn't.
I read that on Wikipedia. They were like,
Well, when I first
Man-Ape
saw...
is not
So when he
being
first
said.
came out in the mask, I was like... Because here's the thing, I don't really... And maybe this is... I just know Black Panther shows up in the Avengers and he helps out, and he's kind of a very proud dude,
Right.
And he also is concerned about protecting Wakanda, and that's
Sure.
all and he married Storm at one point. That's all I know of Black Panther.
Yeah.
So
God, that would have been so... whatever.
Yeah.
Don't go on a
no,
rant. I'm sorry, go
no,
ahead.
you're cool. So like when he shows up in the thing, I was like, well, it looks like a gorilla. That's a little bit racist. Jesus Christ! And then everyone's
was
like,
intentional.
I really love what they did with the Man-Ape character. I was like, who the fuck's the Man-Ape character? It's like it's that guy. I was like, oh, that's way better. Way better.
Yeah, I mean,
they did a good job.
I think that, him having a gorilla mask is fine, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh,
Look
no.
cool.
Completely.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm
usually
so much...
wearing like a whole skin
Right,
outfit,
with this,
like it's like an actual gorilla costume
Like,
almost. But,
it's weird stuff. And they established it. They brought it in, so it's like, hey, it's not just these guys that like want to make themselves apes. It's like Panther had a panther mask on in his ceremony.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
has an animal totem. It's like, okay,
Yes.
that's fine.
That makes a lot
It's
more
fine.
sense.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. I wanted to... Marvel in general, like, the good villains, they seem to always kill off. Mm-hmm. In this case, Killmonger and Claw were both wonderful villains. And we got Claw for what? 2 movies, right?
Age of Ultron, briefly. I mean,
No, right. But and then this one. And then, and actually in this one, he got to beat Claw.
yes,
Because-
improper.
Yeah.
They set it up in Ultron.
Right.
I don't know how many people even remember that. You know what I mean?
I kind of did. I think I watched it like
Yeah, you watched it
at least
recently,
once
right?
last year.
Yeah. I'm saying
Age of Ultron. I mean.
Sure. But,
Oh,
like the more casual fans probably thought this was a new character.
Well,
But I appreciated that they kept the continuity.
But you guys are doing the Marvel movie
Yeah.
challenge.
they're
for
doing.
Avengers.
They're going in.
So
We're
haven't you
only
seen
we're only doing
Avengers?
one a week, so we got up to. They have it laced in out of order for Black Panther because this is just when it is
It's coming out, yeah.
Last thing we watched before this was
Winter Soldier?
no, not to that.
We're not to that yet.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. So then...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, next is
You
Thor.
didn't like that movie? I like that movie.
no.
Next is Thor 2.
No.
Thor 2.
Better than
Also, to a less degree, in my opinion.
that's
No.
one of my lower ones too.
It's
I like it more than
bad. It's not.
I like it
great.
more because of Thor 3. I will say Thor Ragnarok.
Well,
brought
yeah,
up
'cause they're
So
they
much
were
better.
growing on it. It's
Yeah.
like Thor was its own movie. Thor 2 grew on that, and
Yeah.
then
I saw where they were
Thor
going with it,
3
in other words.
Yeah.
became like what you need for a Thor movie.
Well, the bad guy in that one just kind of shows up. It's really about Thor and Loki. And the Warriors 3, who then get completely dissed in Thor Ragnarok.
Which we had talked about.
really
We did,
pissed
and
me
I-
off.
When
that
they
pissed
and
me off.
we were all upset about
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
That really made me
where the
mad.
fuck is Lady Sif? I
Lady
mean,
Sif
for
is just
goodness-
not there, and I
but
loved
she's still
her.
alive, though. They did
She
say her
is.
character's still
Oh,
alive
that's
because she
good.
wasn't there. It was a scheduling
She's a blind
conflict.
spot.
That's what, and that's in real life. That's why she wasn't in it.
Yeah,
There
but
was a
they
blind
recast
spot
the
in
other
killing
people,
her.
So why not?
No, I'm sorry.
I know.
But
That's just my passion coming
But
out.
good news,
Jamie
everybody.
Alexander's great.
With the Infinity Gauntlet, you can fix all this bullshit. And in the same time, you magically recast the actors. So
Yep.
you get a very happy Chris Hemsworth because he's no longer fucking doing Thor.
I
Because he is
am-
not...
What, you
happy.
didn't like it?
Oh, he's tired of doing Thor.
Really?
I think everyone else is just like,
I think all of them
hey,
are
if you
to
pay
some
me.
extent.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is just because he's getting old. I think he said he's like, I'm getting too old.
He has the most excuse. You know what, Hemsworth? Suck it up.
Suck
No,
it.
well, no,
Fuck.
yeah,
You've only done 3 movies. How many movies did Hugh Jackman do? I want to hear it, son.
I know, and yeah,
Come on.
it just makes me. And oh man,
I'm sorry, I'm
No,
getting too
you're
charged
fine.
up.
How do
It gets
you
me.
feel about Chris Evans?
What?
Wanted to hang it up. I mean,
He wants to?
Well,
I think so.
he's talked
I'm-
about it, but
I
he's
know.
also said Marvel gave me like my chance to do anything I want. I was like, I
Exactly.
want to direct more. And I was like, let him
So,
fucking
I've heard a
direct
few
a Marvel
things from-
movie,
Yeah.
or let him go
Do
off
it.
and do what he wants
Thank
to do,
you.
and then pay him an exorbitant amount of money, or make it part of like a production deal. Like have
It's like-
Marvel do like a sub. I don't know. That
I
makes me
Brought
mad.
Han Solo back so we could get another freaking Indiana Jones movie, but
That's true. That's true. I thought you were going to say they brought Han Solo back to kill him. And I was like, ugh, I roll to that shit. But you're right. That
no,
was.
they brought him back so
So
he
he
could
could
do
do
the
Indiana
Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, they already know.
And if they don't fucking know by now,
You know, okay. There's a great comic in Penny Arcade, the web comic Penny Arcade, where they're just like, because the new King Kong movie's coming out, and Gabe is just like, oh my god, I did you know that they kill King Kong at the end? And Gabriel, who's the other one? It's Gabe and Tycho. Tycho's like, what the fuck is your problem? The first one came out in 1933 or 39. Every movie that it's a rebrand, he always dies because Beauty kills the Beast. Are you stupid? And he's just like, well, that's just a huge spoiler they shouldn't like put out there. And he's just like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Han Solo's dead.
Well, going back to
Han Solo always dies in everything.
Yes, he does. He does, but not before giving a firm finger pointing, because that's what he does in every one of his movies when he's angry. Because I think
You're
he
right.
actually does do it to Chewie in Force Awakens.
yeah.
Actually no, he does it to.
Doesn't he do it to Finn?
He does it to
That's
Finn.
not how the Force works.
That's not how the Force works. Yeah.
Harrison Ford acting moves. Strong point. I bet in Air Force One he does it to somebody.
Oh, he totally does.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane!
oh Jesus.
All right, so back to the Chris Evans remark. Back to that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, that was
You're
hilarious.
fine. You're fine.
So with Chris Evans, I've heard a few things. Like I've heard it at one point. I heard him even before Winter Soldier, him saying, "Oh, I'm getting tired of the workouts and whatnot." And I remember losing my shit, like losing my temper. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Put me in there. Let's switch places. You can have my job. I'll take your job." And then I also heard a few years later he was like, "I'll just do this forever. I'll do this." So I've heard him. It sounds like he's wishy washy. But if Hemsworth, what was he doing before Thor? You need to stay loyal, buddy. Come on now.
I
Isn't
think.
he the one that was in Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
he was.
I guess so.
yeah.
Well,
It's
but
like, that's
out of
all-
all the characters, though, Thor, that's well known, and I guess that's the thing, is that Thor doesn't have as the many more interesting storylines as compared to Captain America.
Well,
or I feel like he can act more in their movies. Well, I think Thor was just like, I have a hammer, I act all whatever, and then
I don't know. I mean,
things need to change.
I think Ragnarok was great.
I think it's time for Lady Thor now, at this point, if he doesn't want to do it.
Well, I'm fine with that too.
Well,
Bring Natalie
yeah.
Portman
The
back.
comics have
She's
introduced
gonna be
next.
Lady Thor.
Jane's Lady Thor.
Jane,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
actually
wow.
who Lady Thor is in the comics.
and the hammer's keeping her alive because I think she has
'Cause she has cancer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So they
If you do read it, it is actually quite good. It does. I guess in retrospect, it doesn't sound as good if you're just telling
my
someone. But
my only beef with Lady Thor is that they call her Thor, and I feel like Thor isn't just the person that holds the hammer. It's like, well, dude, no, that's the son of Odin. That's his name.
that's Odin's son.
It's like-
Thor Odin's son.
So
I would
shouldn't she
rather
have a
have-
different name?
Beta Ray Bill than I would.
Oh, that would be
That would be
awesome.
good, too.
Than
See, I thought
Lady Thor.
Horseface Thor.
I guess,
He's the best.
I guess I thought that Thor had been turned into a woman or something like that too.
No,
at
he didn't.
First.
He didn't
No.
have a divine sex
Yeah.
change. It did not happen.
What happened was
But Loki's done that
and
before,
They, and they
I
never,
thought.
Loki's turned him into a frog.
and they never said officially what it was, but during when Nick Fury became the bad guy or whatever,
Is Original Sin.
original
the
sin,
story
It's-
Original
which
Sin.
is actually pretty good. Which
It is a good story.
he kills the Watcher.
right?
Because the Watcher has seen too much. He crosses a line or something like that, and Nick Fury's like, you now know too much
well,
about
what
I do.
Yeah, what it was is that the Watcher had seen Nick do some things that Nick didn't want people
People to
knowing
know
about.
about. Yeah.
So you gotta
and so
be-
he takes him out and rips his eyes out.
Black Ops,
And
you
so,
son.
Because you can still, the eyes of a Watcher are like.
I'm sorry, you're
kinda
saying
like-
that Nick Fury had the Watcher's eyes taken out?
Well, he kills him and then
Killed
removes
him.
his eyes.
Good lord!
It's
yeah,
pretty gruesome.
It is, and then
And what? What was this?
it's called Original Sin. It was about 2009. No, after that,
it's a little bit
11,
after that.
12.
Ultimate
It's-
or
This is main continuity. 616 main
it's
continuity.
actually, I think, right after Superior Spider-Man.
Okay, so it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Which Nick Fury is this?
This is the original Nick Fury.
So it's the
white Nick Fury
okay.
from Howling Commandos, not Sam Jackson Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Well, that's Ultimate.
That's all exactly. That's what I'm saying. So this is not that
continuity.
Well, here's the other thing too. They've started merging some of the things together. So like Nick Fury's adoptive son.
So Secret Wars 3 merged all the universes now. Yeah. So there are no multiverses in Marvel comics. It's all one thing.
But during that, Nick Fury's kind of like Batman in this regard, where he's just like he has secrets on everybody, kind of like in Justice League Doom. He has on everyone. Yeah, and so Thor obviously intervenes. He's like, Nick, you can't do this, bro. And he's about ready to like smite him with the hammer because he's like, because there's like a laundry list of bad shit he shouldn't have done.
He's like, after all, you are human, and you are human, Thor.
Right? And so he goes to hit him, and he's just like, I can take you out with like one phrase. And Thor is like, yeah, right. And so he maneuvers around and just whispers it to him, and then he becomes unworthy. And you're just like, what? And you still don't know what the fuck he said.
That's literally what happens. And so Nick Fury knows something that Thor did that it makes him unworthy of the hammer. So the spell, because remember, it's all about the spell.
The guy who's writing Thor and has been writing Thor for the last like 8 years or so, he came up with it, and it's woven into his grand plan, which is like God Killer and all that stuff, which is really good.
Because Thor, the son of Odin, not Lady Thor, who has the hammer. I'm saying the son of Odin. He still exists. He's still
he still exists. It's just he doesn't have the hammer. Matter of fact, he got
a metal arm
eye ripped out
and his arm. He's been having a bad time
technically now.
And so, but have they? I
stopped reading it.
Okay,
no, that's what I'm saying. No,
I need to know what happened.
Money became tight. So literally after original Sin, Lady Thor showed up and she grabbed the hammer from the moon. And you're just like, who is the fuck Lady Thor? And then I heard it's Jane. I was
they revealed it a year and a half later.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, that's the last I heard. I'm just reading Spider-Man now.
I just want to know, what did Nick say to make him unworthy? And
they haven't said it yet.
Guys, that was years ago. You gotta let it out. You know.
But anyway, wow,
we're super off topic.
We're super off topic.
Yeah, I think
Thor. This is what happens to
the new Thor movie that came out was really good, you guys. And the part where Black Panther showed up and Thor wasn't in it at all.
Yeah, remember?
Hey, buddy, you remember?
Remember? Yeah, Black Panther. Let's get back on topic. Okay, you know what? I'll say in regards to Marianne, your comment about the second fight scene. Well, I understand your remark and I get it, but as somebody loves martial arts movies and shit, I'm gonna disagree because I was like, it was awesome. It was just badass.
The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, we're gonna get another one of these, and then
Marianne said the same thing.
And then the second time I saw it, it went by a lot faster because it was just more like
I love kung fu movies too. I have all of the Shaw Brother films. It's just.
Oh my God, we should do a podcast about that sometime.
Right now, let's just talk about the Shaw
Brother films, martial arts. Anyway,
legit.
It was short enough that I was like, I wasn't checking. I never checked my watch. I never did any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it did serve a purpose in the story. It really does, because that he earned the throne according to their law.
Yeah,
that's an established thing in the story. That is how
he's honorable too.
Yeah.
He's honorable.
He won it fair and square.
He did.
Well, kind of. He didn't
kill him.
Black Panther makes this point later on. He did not yield and he didn't kill him. So actually, he didn't win it fair and square. I retract that.
But he thought he did.
Yeah, exactly. For all intents and purposes, it seemed like, he was king.
What I liked when they did the burying scene where they bury him in the red sand.
Yes.
And he shows up and he's in his apartment.
Yeah. That was cool.
Oh my God.
That's like his homeland.
Yeah.
So
it's his version of it.
Or also, I guess maybe they've been exiled as well.
They were exiled from there.
Because if you looked out the window, it had the same tint that T'Challa's the landscape he went to, so it was like his version of that.
But there were no Black Panthers or
ancestors.
Okay, so you know what I thought when that shit was going down? I was like, what if he kills the spirits? That's what I thought was going to happen. He was just going to go in there and just murder all the spirits of the Black Panther.
Totally
so he's
exiled,
completely.
So he.
Well, and I'm kind of
just sad.
Do you also
really made me sad?
Do you also feel that the one guy from This Is Us, aka Killmonger's dad? I
haven't seen This Is Us.
I don't know. My wife told me, she's like, that's the guy from This Is Us, the adopted kid. I was like, okay.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, actors are in things. I'm sorry.
What? But he like, and it's a great juxtaposition. But I do, from the first scene with juxtaposition with T'Challa and his dad, which is just like, I don't know how I can do this. Like, you will be a great king. Don't worry. I was like, no, about how I cannot do this without you. And then his response, his brother's response, like, don't you mourn for me at all? He's like, it's not how we do it here. People die. And you're just like, damn. Mm-hmm. And then you see him be really sad about that. And then, now, did you take that he was sad that maybe he didn't teach him right? That maybe he might have chosen the wrong path?
Well, if anything, he might have been sad that he had to live a life like that, probably.
That too. But
the way I took it was, after he says that line, like, people die here every day. It's just how it is. It cuts back to his dad, then it cuts back to him as a grown man, and you can see he's crying. And so, to me, that was like, relationship between me and my father, not to get too deep here, but it's like, sometimes men, I open the can. You're not always taught to express emotion like that. And so he was saying that hard stuff, like, people die here, I don't care. But you saw the emotion literally leaking out of him.
I think
he's trying to stuff it down, but you know how he really feels. It's on his face.
I took that a little bit differently. I took it as he didn't cry for his dad when he was young. Mm-hmm. And now that he was grown up, and then now that he's finally facing his dad, and his dad was talking to the young one saying, don't you have any tears for me? And then he makes the statement, and then it comes back to the current day Killmonger, and he's just tears.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I understand that macho bullshit is nothing. I needed my connection with my father.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
And it's too late.
That's why the tears are coming out.
Okay, because it almost starts off as, how did he get the ring? And that's kind of, because it shows off like half flashback, half not. And then you get a sense of, okay, then you're actually speaking to him, the father, in the present time, which in itself is just depressing because, they're exiled. They're exiled, and they'll never truly be. But there's the one thing he's just like, well, maybe your country left you behind.
Maybe your people are the ones that are lost.
Right, and then they show another shot of him, I think the dad kind of tearing up too, and I was just like, now is that like a pinch of regret because like he does love his people, or that's what I'm saying. I got I took it that there was a little bit of regret.
He was doing everything
for his son,
and for his people. In the end, he truly felt, both the dad and Killmonger, that he was doing everything for Wakanda. I will show the world how good we are, and I will save the world
by righting the wrongs in this land that I've been sent to.
Yes,
he said, I see all this injustice around me, and I know we can stop it and do something about it.
But
so why aren't we doing it?
But hindsight always is 2020.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So he's also speaking from a different place. So I guess that was my thing, is that is he coming from that place is like, maybe this isn't, but he can't say. I don't know. It was I thought it was very conflicting for both of them. Like, Killmonger took his own thing from it.
You're feeling that his father in ghost form, when Killmonger went into that state, you feel that his father's ghost was regretful of the path that he chose in life to be so maybe?
Because, look, not saying that his brother was right, but his brother wasn't wrong either. And same thing.
They both had good points. I mean,
no, they did. And of course, T'Challa took I think the path that was better. That I think if he would have just... Well, he was also stupid and tried to kill young... what's his name? Can't think of the character's name. Young...
Who tried to kill?
The brother. It's what got him killed by T'Challa's dad.
Oh, he tried to kill the young...
the spy.
The young Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the guy. I couldn't think of the actor's name.
His brother got... Because Killmonger's dad got so pissed at him, he was like, I'm going to kill you.
Right, and I'm just like...
why are you losing your temper like that, man? It shows why Killmonger is the way he is. It's like, dude, your dad was bloodthirsty too.
True. But
it's right in the family.
Yeah, I don't know. That scene hit me hard, but I just had a question about like how they meant that. And then the bad guy thing was another issue where they got rid of him too quickly.
Sure.
And then I also felt they got rid of a scene with his best friend, the Rhino guy. Macabre, the guy from Get Out, where he's just like...
Got rid of a scene.
I feel like there should have been more...
Oh.
I felt there was more to the conversation where he's just like you guys mentioned earlier. He's just like, you didn't bring back the guy who killed my father.
Yeah.
And you said you would. I felt like there was something else more there, and they probably cut it for time. But again,
that could be.
It's a movie television trope contrivance, which is like no one's not talking fully about what's really going on, and it's just A, due to time, and B, and whatever. And I feel in that real situation, I feel like, well, granted, it could not be. He's very prideful too, where he's just like, I promise you I will bring him back. It's just we didn't get it this time. And that's technically what he says. But I was like, but he didn't go, well, I also was trying to work with government agency so we could take him back legally and do this so we could do what we need to do. But he doesn't say that. But
use your words.
Use your words.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Killmonger's the guy who stopped us from getting in the first place, by the way.
Well, but they never, but that's what I'm saying. He never once says that. And, this happens in all movies. So it's just like, but I also kind of feel maybe there was something else there. Because, I mean, like, but the second time I saw it, early in the movie, he does say, so what you're saying is you want me to lead an army and just help all our brothers and sisters out around the world? I'll totally do that. And I was
he says, if that's what you want me to do, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
But then the alternative, he's like, I don't want to do.
He did kind of say that at the beginning of the movie. So never mind. Because I was like, he just flipped on his boy.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then the second time I was like, oh, not so much. But
he kind of still did, though.
He did. I still felt there was something more there, maybe between the two of them. I don't know.
I think I made a remark before on another podcast. I will say that
which we plugged in the opening.
Yes, there's something. I think a lot of it has to do with the impatience that's been bubbling up for most of his life.
True.
So he's got this relationship with T'Challa. It's more like a friendship. And so once T'Chaka's gone, he's like, okay, my boy is up here. We're sort of like on the same level now.
Yeah.
We're going to get this done. And it's immediately that kind of best friend spat. So you can like flip on him like, what? You didn't do this for me? Arg!
Because it goes from, okay, my best friend has now become the guy who's in charge of me too.
That too.
And he's my friend.
There's also that other resentment. Like, if I were here, I would do blah, blah, blah. So...
That's true.
Because that's a tough dynamic. That's a tough thing to go through as a friend. It's like, well, he's now your boss. You grew up together.
I will say, though, he has, in my opinion, he leads to the most powerful scene in the movie where he's fighting his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And she looks around and he's just like, oh, we're killing each other. And I'm kind of maybe, like, he still doesn't, there's still a hint of like, I still feel like we should do something. But he's just like, we're killing each other.
But he's also like, what's the cost, man?
Yeah.
What's the point at this point?
But that's such a fucking awesome and powerful message that they do that. And I guess that's the other thing that makes me kind of mad.
It was a great moment.
Black Panther lets Killmonger just go at the end. He's like, well, right, but the right thing to do is to save your life, so I'm going to do it anyway. But
he offered. He did offer.
He did. Yeah, but you don't offer, you just do.
See, and I would have been okay with that. Because then you get to have Killmonger again as a villain, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, it didn't work out that way.
Or not even like a villain. Have him as that middle ground, that neutral. Sometimes I'm bad, sometimes I'm good.
I would not have minded that.
I wouldn't have either.
I mean, Catwoman is a perfect example.
They made him such a good character.
Anarchy. All these. I'm giving all DC references because that's the only one that I know best.
Well, you tend to be more DC though, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, which is interesting because you guys are both more DC and we're both more Marvel.
He's more Marvel.
Are you more Marvel than
DC?
DC?
I'm probably down the middle, but probably more Marvel.
Fair enough.
I appreciate
you wear a lot of DC
everybody
stuff,
knows
and usually
I know
Marvel
your
boy.
feelings on it.
Yep. Sorry.
I do have one thing. I have
sorry.
one negative thing that I.
Yeah.
And it's you don't have to say you're sorry.
I wonder if it's the thing that I was.
Everyone's opinion.
I'm only
Wonder
so
if you're gonna
sorry.
say.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, he's really just more sorry for being a dick about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I am.
Because I've read some of your things and I've been like, oh.
Don't take those too seriously. I even say when I post that stuff, like
when he literally says he would take a shit on the movie, he only did that.
I never
once.
even said that.
No, I know. I was being facetious. Sorry.
So,
I'm always being facetious.
T'Challa goes to the ancestral realm.
Yeah.
And we have these Black Panthers that are the worst CGI. I mean, I could have
Really, that didn't bother me that much.
Like, I maybe because I like cats. I don't know, but I was just like, meow. I'm a Black Panther. Like,
I forgot that.
It's like
when we got out of the theater
because he jumped down out of the tree, and I was like, that doesn't look like a cat jumping out of a tree. I mean, they needed like motion capture, put a little motion capture shoot on a panther or something. I don't know. They do it perfectly fine in other movies. I don't know why this.
They did it perfectly well in Disney's The Jungle Book.
Yeah.
They could have.
I will say.
I mean, it is a Disney production.
My opinion is that it should have. it's supposed to look a little bit otherworldly, a little bit unnatural because they're not really real panthers, and it's kind of like a ghostly kind of.
Because he's high on dust and goop and stuff.
The panthers are actually probably people shaped like panthers in a sense too, because they're they're other spirits. They're kind of.
I'm glad.
Okay.
I wonder if he had the munchies after he woke up. No.
Well, he is kind of like.
Yeah. They both freaked out.
I saw my dad. I want some food.
God.
Forrest Whitaker, let me tell you all about it over some Doritos.
Taco Bell.
New from Disney. It's Black Panther Doritos.
I'm surprised that has not been done or something like that.
It's happening. It's happening right now.
There's
we
the
just
tie-in.
there's a tie-in somewhere. Mountain Dew is also probably because the Black Panther is extreme.
Got the like grape.
Oh
my
God!
gosh.
Can we also talk about how awesome the women are in this?
I would like to, because that's
Women-
like, I came in like ready. I'm like, they better have passed the Bechdel test. They better, and of course,
Did they?
seconds into it. I mean,
Well,
Suri is so cool.
so
Hilarious.
Yeah, buns were so cute.
talking about the
Her hair
Bechdel
bun.
test.
She was touching her head just then.
So
Let's be
Okay,
clear here.
Keith.
I
Let's
saw
be clear
I saw
here.
one newspaper cartoonist who is black. He did talk about how the movie didn't pass the black Bechdel test because he said there's a white person that shows up and saves everybody at the end, and I was like,
Oh,
really? I mean, he's not.
He didn't save everybody. He just
I wouldn't know
stopped
about
one
that. I don't know
ship.
about that.
He
Well,
just-
he shot down like 3 or 4. But
Well, the one
a
ship
group
that was
of-
going to escape.
Well, but he shot the subsequent ships
the
down
thing
before
they
that.
were saying-
I don't know.
No.
about that one.
And the guy talked about it on Twitter or somewhere where he was just like, well, but because everyone's arguing was like, yes, but everything. The only way he did that is with the help of
Shuri.
T'Challa's sister.
Yeah.
Everything he did was basis on the technology that the Wakandans built.
Yeah.
He's really just doing what he is being ordered on what to do.
yeah, it's a spirit of cooperation for any otherwise too. I mean,
See,
what the fuck? Come on.
So what was he supposed to do? Just be like, oh, I'm not going to help
Well,
you, savages.
I guess the
like
point-
I feel like that would be worse,
No,
right?
I think the point is he shouldn't have been in there to begin with. They're
Okay,
saying don't
fair
put a
enough.
white person in it at all.
Well,
Well,
the turning
I
point, the
don't know
argument
how-
he
I
made
don't
was
have
the
any
moment
remark.
where he goes, "You need to get out of there now," and he just goes, "I'm going to risk death to save." That's the point where it failed the test. If he would have gotten out of there, and listened to the sister and say, "No, I know, I have a
What?
problem with that."
I do have.
He
a
was,
problem.
but that confuses me. He was literally willing to die. I don't get it. I don't get this person's perspective.
I don't
but
necessarily
I don't wanna
get it
offend
either.
anybody.
But I don't.
Is there rules for the Black Bechdel test? I mean, or
the
is
way
this just-
the way he put it, he's like, are there more than the same 4 actors cast in the entire movie? So like Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker, is some of the examples he used because they're always cast in usually African American parts, and then it goes around to does a white person save him, and I forget what the third one is. But I know, in my opinion, I felt it passed 2. I mean, I felt it passed all 3. But if you're going by what he's talking about, it failed like one or 2 of them. I don't know. I didn't agree
I have to
with
look
it.
it up. I have heard
Yeah,
that.
if I find it, I'll throw it out there because
I
it
don't
was.
have a-
It really,
Yeah.
no, it bothered me.
Yeah.
But no, the
Just defer
women
to other
are
people.
amazing
The
in this
women
movie.
were amazing. I loved every single one of them.
They're so strong, and the sister and brother relationship was
Makes
so
me wish
good.
I had a brother or a sister. Every time I see something like that, I'm always like,
Yeah, where they do not get along, but yet they do.
Yes.
It's so good. Okay, let's be fair though. It's the perfect brother-sister relationship
Yeah.
where there is never any real beef.
At least it worked out for them.
Yeah.
yes.
Because in real life, someone's going to piss somebody off, or maybe
For
you
real.
try to kill their best friend at a bachelorette party.
God damn.
Maybe
Oh,
throw them in front of traffic. It's okay.
Did this happen?
is this
in
a
real life
reference
you?
to something?
It's
Very specific.
It's
Yeah.
very specific, but no, yeah. Well, there's always tension between any siblings, and you didn't really get that much there. If it was all very playful.
Well,
and very,
she's just a troll. She just had some of the best comedic lines in the movie,
Oh God!
and which was
Flicks
so
them off,
appreciated.
walking away. It's like,
Yeah.
And the mom was like,
Uh-uh, better not be.
Sorry, mom.
sorry, mom. Oh, it's so good. And I like that she's made Wakanda even better than what it was before, and that was awesome.
Sure.
She was super smart, super technological. She was like the Q.
The
of
Q. I was about to say that.
Yeah, the Q of the Marvel universe.
I really like that touch where they did the Q branch scene of her introducing him to his new gadgets.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm a
Oh,
Bond
I
fan.
That's
so
my favorite too.
come
yeah.
on.
I just got this. What if they did Ironheart? but with her.
Wow.
You know what? I think that would work better than the way they did it in the comics.
I agree.
Because in the comics, they were just like, this is just a random girl who's just built this shit in her backyard or whatever. But there's a precedent for it in this, you know, for her to become like Tony's partner or whatever.
But that's how good she is. Like, I would love to see her as a lead in a movie.
They could do it.
You know what I mean? Where
you know what you could do with her and Tony?
What?
So RDJ, you know he still wants to be involved somehow, but he doesn't want to do as much as he's been doing. So what you do is you do kind of a Batman Beyond thing where Shuri's in the suit and then he's like doing the guidance and like.
Now, do you get a really cool like futuristic theme song to play too?
Yes. Where's that movie at? Good lord.
Oh, now that would be a good decent.
Okay, you know what my casting is like, I don't know, get whoever to be, when he still could have done it, like have Clint Eastwood as old
Bruce Wayne.
Would have been sweet.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it now, he's too crazy now, but I'm sorry.
Way too
Clint
crazy.
Eastwood.
Oh.
As old Bruce Wayne in a
Batman
Batman Beyond movie. If they'd made it like 10 years...
Eastwood.
Because I like him, he's awesome.
And he does kind
when
of
he was
look
in
like
his
the
prime.
animated version.
And he does, man. And he's just the grizzly.
He needs to be more this.
He's just...
More like...
yeah. He has the good face, but not... He's
Oh,
not,
well, yeah. He's
but you could
built
pad
like,
that out on a nice padded suit.
But this is old Bruce Wayne. He's gone to
old.
seed.
His shoulders don't get smaller.
That's true. In the cartoon, you're right. I mean, he's still
In the cartoon, he's
strong as hell for an old man.
Though, the dude goes... I mean, if you've seen Gran Torino, that ending scene is pretty kind of Bruce Wayne-y, where he's just like, what the fuck, kids? Come out here and
Yeah, man.
fuck me up, whatever. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then you realize he just has a finger gun.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry. Have
Great
you
movie.
Have you seen Gran Torino?
I don't think I have.
Well,
I
I
know.
just ruined that for you.
It's
What
a good
movies
movie.
have you
Don't worry
not seen
about
that
it.
I
He
can
won't.
ruin for you today?
He won't. He won't
I don't
remember.
know. Every once in a while, he would like, remember that movie? You ruined that for me. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But no, that knowing my luck, that's what would happen. He's like, you remember Gran Torino? You
He
fucked
won't
that up for me.
remember. He won't remember.
That's my wife. Sometimes she's like, you can tell me that this thing happened in this thing. I won't remember this.
See,
I'll
that's why
see
I
it
don't-
and it'll be a surprise.
That's why I don't care, because I still remember everything, but it doesn't take away from my enjoyment.
No, I agree. Unless it's like Sixth Sense, like where that's a huge,
Oh, yeah.
the whole basis of the movie. Then, but like if a character dies or something like that, I would like the way you've
I
explained
kind
it
of need
to
to
me.
prepare myself for the death,
Oh,
so I
man.
usually need.
Have you seen Last Jedi?
Yes, he's seen Last Jedi.
Okay.
So shit.
Okay. So,
So they should say.
someone told me Luke died, and it broke my heart. I think like a week before I was like vague
Oh.
posting about it, like on Twitter and Facebook, because I was like, if I know what I know is true, I'm going to be a mess, and I was. It was heartbreaking for me. It was hard, but I mean, he went out like a boss.
Yeah,
But still, like, okay, Woosley said it best. Our friend Stephen Woosley, he was just like, you still just want to see the old gang get back together and have one more John across the galaxy, and then they die. Yeah. And that's not what's happening at all. And we will never really see the last one's final foray. She'll go out probably like a boss in between.
Well, I mean, two things. First of all, how did you feel about it? Weren't you outraged that you found that out before being surprised?
A little, but in some ways I'm kind of glad too, because the way it was explained to me was completely different than how it actually went out. Like, no, they didn't tell me how he went out. They just said he just disappears. And I was like, what? No. Like,
that's a major understatement.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
goes out like a fucking Jay-Z.
Could have been worse, I guess. But the other thing I wanted to
I call
say
it
is
John
that
Cena.
after I listened to your podcast about the movie, The Last Jedi, to clarify.
Yes.
I actually saw somebody did this 8 or 16-bit GIF or YouTube video
Nathan
about,
posted it, of all people, and Nathan did not seem to like that movie.
and it was hilarious because they put all those little details in that you.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
All those little details you were talking about, like not leaving the footprints and so forth. So.
Oh yeah, and
It's
then
fun.
all the music cues and everything
Yeah.
like that, and
The
listened.
music was
So
so good.
good, right?
Oh.
It was so good.
Can we talk about Last Jedi now?
Yes. No, you're
Okay. Well, now that
I
now that
don't-
Casey's gone, we can get back to Black Panther.
okay. My favorite part is when Luke Skywalker showed up and then completely helped Black Panther
Yeah.
save the day
Yeah.
with the Force.
With the Force.
With the Force, and
the
you find
ghost
Ghost Luke.
yeah.
And you find out that the
Blue
Force was
shimmer.
all created by vibranium. That's the midichlorians.
That's
the midichlorians.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back to the black Bechtel or the black Bechtel test or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. It's a very nitpicky kind of thing, which I worry will be a little bit. I mean, it's just argumentative for the sake of
being argumentative.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's gonna just keep us from having nice things, for lack of a better word. No, I mean,
you're right, man.
There's already so many people out there, so many white people, I will say, who are probably going to
rail against the movie.
Well, I mean, look, there are some. We now know that there's some pretty fucking awful people out there. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And they look for little things like that to be able to go to, a cause to fight about.
Yeah.
In the other direction. So why give them something to latch on to? Like,
right.
Look how stupid these people are. They can't,
Well, my cousin, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn for her or anything like that. My white cousin, she has mixed kids, and they walked out going, "Mommy, I have a superhero who looks just like me," and I was like, "Damn, that's awesome! I love that. I love that." And same thing with they're putting more female superheroes out there too. It's the same thing. Like the more that we have out there, the more it's like anyone can feel awesome and feel like they have something they can connect to, and not just because, like, look, everyone can connect to Spider-Man, but at some point that connection, you stop at a point. There's something, and something as just as simple as what their skin color is, and just because there's a culture thing going on different there too. I don't know, man. I read that and I felt like it was someone just kind of. I'm just curious though, because it's something that you're starting to see more little verbiage on, and then there was also the alt-right trying to do their bullshit, which is they were trying to knock down the Rotten Tomatoes score, which did not happen though.
Well, they were also trying to say I went to Black Panther and I got beaten up.
Which that didn't happen.
Right.
None of that happened. Yes,
Jesus.
But that's exactly my point. Is why give them ammunition to be able to point at and say, look at how ungrateful they are, or whatever. But there's also some like in Chase, made a very beautiful post.
Oh yeah, and I need to read that here because he gave me permission to do it. Thank you for reminding me.
Maybe you should read it first, and before I say what I'm going to say, because
because I haven't read it.
Oh, it's pretty good. Matter of fact, yeah, because actually, Sarah. Well, I figured because usually Nick Ray does these with us too, the Marvel ones, and but he had band practice, and so I was like, well, Chase probably won't be able to. But Sarah's like, you should just invite him to do it. I was like, okay. I mean, he's like, I have band practice. I was like, I figured, yeah.
Since Nick is not in your band, and
all right, here we go. I've struggled to come up with the words to talk about how important Black Panther is to me. Yes, it's a superhero movie. Yes, it's a work of fiction. But what I saw on the screen wasn't the typical portrayal of black men and women. The film featured strong black women as the top general in their army. It featured a young, tech-savvy black woman who used her intellect and ingenuity to create technology that rivaled a certain billionaire in New York City. It featured a compassionate and wise king who has to face the legacy of his kingdom. There was so much black excellence in this movie and so many characters to look up to. When I was a kid, black characters were often regulated to stereotypes, and that does something to you when you're a child. I was lucky to have strong black men and women in my life that showed me that I don't have to be the stereotype, but not everyone is as fortunate as I am. Black Panther proves that black characters can be so much more than they've been portrayed over the years. I cried in my attempt to explain it yesterday, but thousands of black boys and girls across the United States now have heroes they can look up to. No, tech jobs are not just for white men. No, you too can be a woman and rise in the armed forces. Yes, you can be a superhero one day, maybe just to the person or maybe to millions. And you're just like, oh.
Yeah, so one of the first comments was from someone saying something to the effect of, what's the big deal? I don't get it. No offense. I think that even that phrase was in there too. But I don't see what the big deal is for all these people about, like, why even point out that it's the first black whatever, or the thing should just be. And God, where do we even start with that?
My coworker came up to me and she was talking about Black Panther. She is an African American woman that is in project management IT with me, and she said, this is the first superhero we have that hasn't come from the ghetto.
Oh yeah, because I think Static Shock starts off that way a little bit.
So
Luke
Cage, all these people, and they show royalty and not just someone that's been in a gang or trying not to be in a gang. They show a different lifestyle that a lot of kids don't have that lifestyle. So, and she just was like, she said she cried. My friend Alex's fiance Ashley, she also said she walked out of the movie crying because it was amazing to have such a role model.
So the other, what was I going to say? Yeah,
Was it about the post? Because the one guy you're talking about on his thread is kind of going all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, and
God,
he's...
I didn't read it then.
Oh, I mean, some of the stuff he talks up about, you first go, oh, you could be right. But then he goes, oh, wait, no, you're wrong. Like, one of the things he mentions is Killmonger is not a good villain because he's just pure black rage. And I was like, no, he's not. He's an MIT grad. He rose up to get to where he's at. So he, in his mind, can make a better change for what he thinks is for his people.
I remember something I was going to say. I mean, even from, these fictional top 10 lists about the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
like
which we all do.
One of the things that I was surprised to find years ago was, one of the smartest people in this universe is actually Black Panther, as it turned out. Like, Sam Wilson and T'Challa were listed on there. Now, in the movie, they certainly portray Shuri as being certainly a lot more technically capable than him. But, the comic versions of these lists, he's more or less representing the entire country in a sense, him being the king and being in charge of a lot of the technology at the time.
Yeah.
But I thought that was also something, great about the character that you could look up to. That it's not just these royalty, he's also portrayed as being more intelligent than probably most of the people outside of the country.
Oh, no, yeah.
And,
I mean, he's a smart
advanced
guy, but at some point, he can't do what his sister can do.
No, but I'm just saying, on the subject of figures to look up to in comics, and apart from the movie itself, just him being on a top 10 list of the smartest characters
he is
in the MCU.
Pretty smart.
Absolutely.
Universe.
And within the comics, I mean, not that he's a dummy in this, movie or
not at
either.
all.
But in the comics, I mean, they were only scratching the surface of Black Panther in general.
And I'm so excited to watch more.
See where it goes.
Yes.
I don't know, well, with my little break, what you guys exactly covered, but one thing I just want to say about the movie in general, I just think that they introduced Wakanda really well, the concept of it, and what role it plays in Marvel without it feeling like too expository.
Yeah.
It was a part of the story. It was woven into the practices of the country. You could learn about it if you've never encountered this country at all, in Marvel lore, and you're going into it blind. I feel like I can't speak for somebody who's never, experienced it before because I already knew about it going in. But I mean, most of my friends that saw it had no idea about Black Panther. They were like, "Yeah, I really feel like I got an idea of what this country is and their culture and how it fits."
I know very basic stuff about Black Panther, and I was actually glad that I didn't know more because I mean,
the movie had it all in there.
It was so good.
The little thing I caught the second time that I saw is that opening narration with the history of Wakanda and the whole full CGI history. That's Jobu, Black Panther's uncle, Killmonger's dad. That's him. That's speaking to little Killmonger.
Oh,
because he says, "Dad, tell me about home. Tell me a story. Tell me about home." Who else would he be saying that to? And I listened real close. I was like, "That's his voice. That's Jobu's voice."
Nice.
That opening narration. Watch it again, dudes.
Blows my mind, man.
That's him talking to his son. It's like that's him telling him the legends. And so he was saying it was a fairy tale. He was thinking, because you easily would, being a kid in Oakland, you'd think that was all nonsense. Your dad's telling you to make you sleep, and it's like, no, it is real. It is your heritage.
So that makes me wonder about in the his vision quest. I wonder if that was actually part flashback in the sense of his father actually did at some point in his life discover him finding
I think he did.
the ring and so forth.
I think he did. I think that really happened to him as a little boy. I think he was going. Crazy. He said, "What did I tell you about going through my things?" I think that was, like you said, a mixture of both the drugged out drug trip and also the real memory.
And where he got Doritos afterwards.
Absolutely.
but he was
going to have
pissed
the
about
munchies like a mofo.
But
he's anger eating. I've definitely done that.
There's something else I wanted to finish saying before.
Of course.
About the idea of representation, and comics and so forth. I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I didn't feel as I wasn't inspired to make any sort of monumental post about like the significance of it necessarily. Though I understand certainly the way people feel about that across the country. But I can say from personal experience, just when you want to go and cosplay certain things, the pickings are pretty slim. If you're black and you want to find something good and high profile, you can be proud to put on so you're not like scraping the barrel to get like some sort of B-level hero that people are like, oh, who's that or what kind of or whatever. And also,
you're not wrong at all.
So when so it's good to have more things out there that are high profile, impressive, and you can't or not having to choose something where you go, oh, but you're the black version of X.
Yes,
and
you're Black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm Miles Morales.
Right.
For
Stop.
example.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to like dress up as like say Superman or Batman or something like that, you can't do that, can you? Without that
Without
caveat of like
saying,
The Black Panther isn't the black version of anybody.
Right.
You know?
No,
That's what I think
AKA
is great.
now it will now be you're the white version of Black Panther, which that is not a good thing. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Like
I get it.
the tables have turned a
Sure.
little bit on that regard. But that's
I just want to say that I think that this movie's just so long overdue. Because
oh yeah,
he's the first black superhero, really full superhero. There's other black characters in comics, but he's the first one with a secret, quote unquote, identity, but another identity he assumes in a costume and a whole set of abilities.
Movie wise, that might be over though. No, it's not. I'm probably wrong.
I'm speaking comics. I'm speaking historically.
Yeah, sorry.
So and the point is, so that I feel makes him significant, and then. To have him, he was made around the same time as Fantastic Four, Hulk, X-Men, Spider-Man, and all these other characters. And the one thing I thought of a few days ago was that if you were a kid when Black Panther comics first came out, if you were a child reading those comics, you could have grandkids by now before he ever had one movie made or big exposure. And that's ridiculous. That's
Can we talk
mind-blowing
about,
to think about.
in the last year, we had Wonder Woman
Yes.
box office records.
Right.
First female superhero movie we've gotten. And now we have Black Panther break box office records.
And she's the first female superhero.
Yes.
Right?
Can we have Hollywood please acknowledge this? And where the fuck is Marvel? Why was DC the one that knocked this one out of the park? Whereas where's Black Widow's story?
Well, that's coming. And
But they said that for
too late.
years.
It's
They've
too
said that.
freaking late.
Well, no,
They said
Captain
Black
Marvel's
Widow.
been in development for
That
the last
too.
2 years, but that has been announced. But no,
I know it's been announced,
Yeah.
It's so funny
How are
that
they gonna do it now?
Marvel's beaten DC to the punch from everything except for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I'm not really sure what the Marvel equivalent of Wonder Woman would be. I mean,
Captain Marvel.
I
or
guess, but I
Miss
mean,
Marvel.
that's not really.
You don't think so?
I wouldn't say that she's quite as.
you can't go up
high
to
in
someone on the
pantheon as-
street and say who's Captain Marvel.
Oh no.
well, I mean,
if you could ask someone who's Wonder Woman, they would be like,
Everybody knows. But there's an advantage there. If Wonder Woman's been around since my grandparents' generation, she has the longevity, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Marvel
That
doesn't have
helps.
any long. I mean, maybe the Wasp, but again,
Wasp's
she's
been
not.
around since 60s,
she's,
but, yeah.
she's not.
She's
She's
not
not as
Wonder Woman.
prevalent.
Oh, no, she ain't on that tier of
I mean,
heroism.
her,
I think I get what you
her
mean.
and Ant-Man got kind of screwed out of the Avengers in the first go round,
Mhm.
but
They
because
were
they
original
were the
Avengers.
founding members
They
of
were.
the Avengers.
That was the only founding members they didn't have.
Yeah, but now it's a Black Widow. But and then,
Yeah.
but you're not
yeah,
wrong.
well,
on
the
that.
thing-
frustrated.
the thing with-
That's the frustrating part is Marvel needs to accept that there are females that like superhero movies and might want to see a female role model.
Well, we'll see
that's not
Captain
a
Marvel
sex
in
kitten.
Avengers:
Like-
Infinity War. She's in the trailer. She's kind of hidden.
He
Sorry.
hasn't
Yeah,
seen-
dude.
You haven't seen the trailer. Sorry. God damn it!
I have.
Flip the table.
I
carefully.
strategically timed my
I
pee, my
actually-
movie pee, so that I'd miss that trailer. Nick.
Have you?
I haven't seen anything for it.
Yeah, me neither.
I
Yeah.
have
Sorry.
only seen him running. That's all I've seen.
Sorry,
Not
I
watching
I
it.
watched
It's not long now.
Was it the Olympics trailer? They had
Shame
the
on you.
Incredibles 2 trailer, and then right after
Oof.
that they had the Avengers: Infinity War.
Oh man.
And here's the thing: it's a simple shot. It's just Captain America walking down badass, and then right behind him you can't see the face. You can just see the costume of Captain Marvel. And we already
Keith
know.
is covering his ears.
Oh, it's
and
done.
Casey is checked out.
No, I'm checked out. I'm not even.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's what he
done.
said,
That's
so-
it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
That's it. So she's coming.
No, yeah. I get it. It's too late. It's
Oh yeah,
and
but you know,
Well,
I'm
you
off
know
my
what-
soapbox.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to get on that soapbox. I know everyone. You're gonna try and convince me that
No.
yeah, it's coming. But I get it, Keith. I get it.
well, but in the same regard,
And Nick.
well, I mean, okay, but here's the other thing too: is that DC out of 5 films have made one good movie,
Yep.
Arguably.
Ooh.
arguably. And to be fair, I've not seen 4. I've not seen one of the 5. So I've not seen Justice League yet, which I'm.
Oh
going,
well.
I'm
Wow.
going.
Maybe
Wow.
let's try and stay on topic. I'm going to try and be a mediator here.
Hey, I love Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was fantastic. Anyway, This is another conversation.
I know,
for
I'm
another
sorry.
We could have a
time.
whole other
Okay.
talk about
we-
this
Yeah,
we will.
subject.
That
It
will be-
seems like it's
Maybe
right.
someday we should do that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
I think I'd be the only one on the DC side, though. No one.
Well-
I mean, Keith, you already said you're more Marvel than. Okay.
Yeah.
But we will do a survey out there, and we will get another DC person, and and you know what? We'll get a moderator, who has no dog in the fight. Sorry, I already fucked that up somehow. We'll just go for it. Any last thoughts before we wrap
I do
this
have an anecdote from work. There
Yes.
was a woman that stopped by that they were having a party at work, and this woman was talking Marvel, and I kept hearing things that were just slightly off, and I was like, I love
my
that there's another
God.
female on the floor that does this.
I've
And
heard
so
the story.
so I slid over because she was like, well, I think Black Panther's going to fix Thor's hammer. It's going to make it vibranium. And I was like, I don't know about that. I was like,
No, it's done. No, that's done.
So then we start talking, and she was like, yeah, I don't like DC at all. I was like, oh, I mean, have you seen? Oh, I haven't seen this or this or this.
Oh,
or
that's
this.
not a good answer.
And then-
that pisses me off.
No,
At least-
yeah, I have reason.
At least
to
I
say
have.
that-
I have reasons because I've seen almost all
I
of
was
them.
I
like-
try to go in with an open mind.
I was
really
like, have
do.
you seen the TV shows at least? Oh no,
No,
I
TV
was
shows I heard are
okay.
amazing.
And she was like, well, you do have Deadpool. Deadpool's DC. I was like,
Ooh.
Oh, man.
and I hate to be that woman that's like, well, actually,
That makes me.
it's
really,
actually Marvel,
That
but
makes me really
Oh,
sad.
I
What
won't
was
hate
it?
to be that. I would be the person. I'm the type that I'll correct them before I even know what I'm saying.
no, I can't.
I can't help it.
It just it was like
Yep.
out of my mouth.
Can't help
and
it.
I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
What,
I don't
what
mean
was
to
it?
be
What
a
was the
jerk.
thing? What was the way you wanted to say it though? Let me.
Let me stop you there.
Let me stop you right there.
Let me stop you there.
Let me stop you there. Cause she's like shouting off to all these other guys that I don't know if they know anything about Marvel or DC or
Oh,
anything.
man.
And I'm just like,
Does she
Just
like?
stop.
Okay, this is maybe me, but like, is she trying to impress them?
Right.
I think she was.
Maybe
She's
that's
carrying around a toy Mjolnir and telling everybody it's Mjolnir and how to say it and everything. And I
Oh,
was just
boy.
like,
We got a Mjolnir. We got Mjolnir here.
We got a Wikipedia expert. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, whoop.
I'm a snob, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
no, it's not going to happen.
Good for you, Marianne.
Wikipedia is good when you don't have the money to buy the thing you want to read.
I know,
up on
I
to-
know,
No,
I know.
I know. Oh, good. Here's the thing.
I'm old school,
I
son.
supplement. I'm kind of all over the place. I've
No,
got
I
little
am
things
too.
from-
I
yeah.
try to read
Don't
the
mean to
book
be a
if I
snob.
can't. Hey, if you have $80 a year, Marvel Unlimited is pretty good for that. If you're a Marvel guy, does DC have an equivalent to that yet?
Maybe. I think I saw something about
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I think there's an
So
app.
I
there
don't. I'm old school. I want to hold it in my hands like this. You know.
Here's
I
the
want some
thing:
digital
if I
stuff.
really love the
I prefer digital so I
character,
can
I will
zoom- my eyes are getting
gladly
shitty
buy
now,
the
so-
book.
Well, maybe that'll happen to me too.
But if I don't have a lot of money to spend on like every issue of every Marvel book ever, Marvel Unlimited is actually
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Comixology is the app you get, and then you can zoom. It zooms into each screen
Yep.
and the
Oh,
text
yeah.
box.
It's
so
there's
good.
the same technology now, and I love because you just get Amazon gift cards every now and then. Just they have got so many of the
Digital.
versions of the graphic novels and so forth on
Yeah.
there.
well. So the point is we really enjoy Black Panther.
We loved it, even
Oh
though
my
we went
God.
all over. We love Black Panther. We love the females.
even though the
we love
Force
the guys.
invaded.
Like, why do you do this to
The
us?
Force
every
invaded
time?
Wakanda, and so did so did Wonder Woman. That's okay though, because Black Panther is amazing. You should see it, and it brings up the important questions about the fandoms and stuff
Sure.
like that, which Black Panther fucking nailed. So and creates more of a conversation of which is awesome, which is what we need. So point is, we all say go see Black Panther.
Absolutely.
Do you guys see it in IMAX or 3D?
I didn't do either.
We saw
It's
it
funny you should
on
mention that.
Mac. Oh yeah.
Well, it wasn't IMAX. It was
Good thing
Ultra
Casey
screen?
did not come and see it with us.
Why is that?
Our seats were sold already. We already had people sitting on our seats.
Oh boy.
well,
Oh, that
we
pisses
got
me
there.
off.
We were the first ones walking to the theater, and we had our paper tickets printed out, and it turns out they were double sold. And so the people that had bought them earlier showed up and were like,
Like, here's my ticket, and it was the exact same seat.
Oh
So,
damn!
And then
Goobers.
these guys at AMC, I cannot
You Lennox or Easton?
Easton, and I was trying. I walked out with this with the lady, and we're together at the counter, and she shows her ticket, I show my ticket, and he thinks that we're together. And so when we get there and there's two guys sitting in our seats, he's like, so they have your tickets too? I was like, no, she has a ticket and I have a ticket, and we bought tickets for them also.
I bought a ticket for me and my husband. She bought a ticket for her and her husband.
Right.
And the tickets are for the same fucking seats.
We're handling it as in the two women came out and handled it. We're not together and so he was just like blew his mind that
impossible
that two people
technology
were
would
together.
never fail me.
Well, no, it wasn't even about that. It was more about
just confused about the story.
That there were two women and two guys, and
they were working together.
How we were working together to solve this problem.
He must have a very cynical view of humanity.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the
weird guy.
We ended up taking substitute seats in another theater, like the theater next to it, half an hour later, but we were in the front row.
So it was like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go see it again.
See it at Studio 35.
I'm going to take my dad to see it, so I'm going to take
I
him
thought
to
3D was
nice.
not worth it. We did it because Sarah missed out the first night we saw it, and she needed to see it, or she wanted to see it.
We need to see it in 3D.
Right.
You don't. It's not worth it. The only scene that's
Doesn't
cool.
seem like a 3D movie to me.
The only scene that's really cool is I call it the Spider-Man 2 scene, is where him and Killmonger are just falling through the mines.
Oh, okay.
And the sound just goes out. And I was like, oh, was that you that did that in Spider-Man 2, Kevin Feige? Because it's pretty.
Isn't it 3? Are you thinking of 3 when he's fighting?
No, it's when he grabs
Sandman?
Doc Ock, and they fall down the side of the building, and you just hear the sound go, and just cut out.
Oh.
And the only thing you can hear is them going, boosh,
Landing punches.
boosh, and landing punches and hitting each other and hitting the building.
They
Until
also did that in 3, though.
Well,
they repeated it.
That's because
It was crappy.
let's not talk about that. It's the
Sorry.
bane of no, that's the bane of the Marvel Cinematic Universe existence. And
Can you say your catchphrase for me now? The one from the Death Note podcast.
hate fuck watch?
No,
that's
no,
actually
not that one.
Karen's.
That's
To be
Karen's.
fair,
No. The
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Yes.
He's like, don't tell Harry.
Hard Osborn! God, he's so many great quotes.
Bitsy Spider. He's like, Mr. Osborn, you killed all those people. He's like, but Peter, I loved you like a son. Godspeed, Spider-Man. Oh, don't tell Harry. All right, on that.
God bless you, Peter.
God bless you, Peter.
Oh, my God.
that's right.
Thank God. No, it's thank God for you, Peter. Thank God for you.
Did you need to do the introduction?
So good.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Get out of here without cheese! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!